There is a lot of people who can help. There is a lot of ideas that are very easy to develop and deliver to your phone. You don't have to know, you don't have to be even understanding what crypto is. I don't believe that it's even necessary. If you have an email, you would be able to use it. That's what I would start with.
I'm Annemarie McQueen, journalist and proud 50-ish woman, and we are here looking for the true truth in perimenopause, menopause, midlife, and beyond.
Opening our minds to other possibilities is not always easy.
Hotflash Inc.
You're all woman to me. All right, Annemarie.
Hi, welcome to the Hotflash Inc. podcast. I'm your host, Hotflash Inc. founder and recovering journalist, Annemarie McQueen. Today is a little bit of a deviation, and at first you're going to say, Annemarie, why are you talking about this? I don't know what blockchain is. I don't know what crypto is. I don't know what decentralized science even is. And I totally know what you're talking about because barely anyone knows what it is. And I actually put this out on my Substack, and it was crickets. It was probably the least successful post that I've ever made. And I also recorded an episode about it. And I'm not sure that did so well either. But I want you guys to come along with me as I get excited about what I think is the answer to the lack of research and attention that is paid to women's health and women in perimenopause and menopause. I've brought Mac Sho. He's Polish. He's the CTO, the Chief Technical Officer for Axon DAO, which is a decentralized science company. They have an operating system for health data to be uploaded. They have all of the stuff that you need. I don't know the tech terms. You can make money off of providing your health data. You can have it used for what you want. Health data can be shared. They have such cool programs, and they all dovetail with menopause. And when he found out that he was coming on the podcast, he just thought up like a whole bunch of ideas of the way this could be applied in menopause. And he blew my mind. So watch my mouth hanging open while he announces those to me. I just want us to tiptoe into basically the future of science, which is outside the clunky, hard to get funding government system. But what I want you to know is that after we wrapped, and several times in the interview, he did point out this is approved by the FDA. If you have a device that's in decentralized science, you don't skip the line. It's just that it's private money and it's innovative and it's nimble and it's collaborative and it's community and it's all the things that we've had a real dearth of in our space. So I thank you for bearing with me. I hope you will enjoy this episode, and please do send me a text message, leave a comment telling me what you thought. Come and visit me at Substack. Come and visit me on social media, all at Hotflash Inc. And thank you for being here. And finally, I can talk about my two obsessions, which are menopause and midlife and cryptocurrency. I don't know why. Hope you enjoy the episode. No one knows how to talk about DeSci. No one knows anything about decentralized science. It's like it doesn't exist. And I'm saying in doctors and scientists and everyone I interview, it's not even on the radar.
It is advantage in terms of the as community and financial. It's not maybe so well for us, but on the other hand, it allows us to grow very precisely, to build up the structure that will manage and collect the data and everything in a way that at the end, when it will just start rolling out in a bigger scale, there will be not much things to be corrected in terms of the quality.
Okay. Why don't you, in the simplest way possible, explain decentralized science to people who don't know anything about this?
I'm using this, I'm rephrasing decentralized science with decentralized venture capital for research. Okay. So it may be a little bit more easy to understand, but the DeSci aims to address several problems in traditional scientific research: lack of transparency, siloed data, slow peer process, and basically access to funds. Just making long story short, DeSci should be able to bring in faster research process, for scientists that are really looking to try to investigate about what they envisioned, in a way that at the end, when those ideas will become a products or algorithms or something you can utilize thousands of times, but they will have the majority of the ownership of what they created, which would be fair.
When you talk about research, just from your perspective, what are the problems with the traditional methods, storage, dissemination?
The interesting part is that there is no difference. You cannot make the research without utilizing the same quality approach as you are doing in current academia. Then if I would start understanding a human heartbeat or electricity, observe some electricity in a, let's say, atomic levels, I can do it only in scientific way. So in terms of Axon DAO, which is inside of the healthcare industry, just consider that how we collect data, how we are utilizing user information, how we are analyzing, compute, and deliver results or prototypes of results. It must be made in a way like you are doing every healthcare system for the system for healthcare. There is no other way. So we aligned with the same quality system with GDPR, different ISO 13485. You have ISO 27001, which is about data security. Even some of our organizations are certified with some of those certificates. So the quality system inside DeSci is just the same as in the classical academia research approach. The only difference is how you are financially back up your research. That's the only difference, I think.
Okay, and explain that for us.
One of my best friends, he's a finance guy. Last year, I spent with 2 or 3 days with him going through the tokenomics, which is a kind of financial model, let's call it this way, for DeSci organization. One note, Axon DAO is LLC, so it's a registered business entity, United States, Delaware, not Delaware, sorry, in Wyoming. But when he looked at the tokenomics, he said, normally I see chicken and egg. Here I see just an egg. So when you utilize crypto or create your governance token, it allows you to collect initial fund, like a treasury, that you can utilize to create your research idea and then to thrive. What we are looking is not just thrive. You want to create a chicken, and then you want this chicken to create more eggs. So basically, it's just about how you are fund continuous growth of such a project and research that you want to support. Everything is the same. It's just a classical business entity, and blockchain is one for the creating treasury, and the other thing is to govern the community. So we have 9 or 10 different features, how you can utilize AXGT token, starting from tipping the scientist or voting in voting processes. That's what the DAO is in this case, and some other ones. But this is the way people can see that kind of from crypto, from tokens, you are translating them into factually working products, prototypes that can become, for example, SaaS platforms.
Okay. And just so people understand, and it's really hard to understand, no one in my life is doing any of this, but I have a wallet and I exchanged some Ethereum and I bought AXGT. I own 9,000, maybe, I think it's worth $800, $900 today. And then when I buy those tokens, those go to help you fund what you're doing. But just like the stock market, the token can rise and fall, the value of the token. Am I getting it right? Do I understand what I'm doing?
Our tokenomics master, his name is John Church. He's also a teacher at one of the Duke University in North Carolina. He said, don't look at your token price. I can show you an example. There are stock market companies who are really doing well. They are net positive, and somehow their share value goes down. It's basically always based on sentiment, not the facts. With the token, it's the kind of same thing. The value of token is, of course, connected with information about how you proceeding, what you do, how is your research or your endeavor business thing works. But in the same time, what is crucial are emotions and how your community is informed. So even if token sometimes goes down, it doesn't matter that something is wrong. It just, you have to separate emotions from facts, because in every business, like also in DeSci, it's about creating something that then can become net positive. If you don't have that kind of opportunity, or you didn't envision anything like that, then probably your project is meant to go down. But in other ways, in most cases, it's built upon the utility. So every research project is a kind of also utility. When it goes up and when it goes to production, when it happens to become a product, it's also a kind of proof of your idea. So whether we are throwing in a 1 year, 1 or 2 or 3 research projects, starting them, and then are able to, let's say, have 2 successes, and then replicate, utilize them for something else like A+ voice, it's still proof of our competence also.
So one thing that I think is, you've got quite a few projects on the go, and I want to talk to you about them, but
Yep.
You're providing the operating system for our health data to be uploaded. A lot of people are giving away their health data. They're actually paying to buy a device and then just providing their health data to that company for free now. And
they don't use it.
Pardon?
And they don't use this device.
Right. So what you're doing, you guys are sending me a Cure Ring. I'm excited to try it out. I will put that on. It will collect my health data, but I will also earn tokens, apparently.
Yep.
While you're measuring my heart rate variability and feeding back stuff to me. Can you just explain to me how that works? That's fascinating.
The operating system of Axon DAO is a platform called Axon DAO XYZ. You can consider this is like a main vault of your data, the data that you are collecting about yourself. It's encrypted, it's yours, it's private. We don't have an access to that. We cannot do anything without your consent. Every research project that we are introducing inside of the Axon DAO, when it's being released, it's basically connected to Axon DAO XYZ. So when you will try to collect some data or participate in A+ Voice, and you will go to a+voice.io page, you will see that you are at avoice.axon.xyz. Doesn't matter how many research ideas we will create in next year or 10 years, or how many of them will work parallelly. They all make you collect data in one place, in Axon.xyz, which is amazing because, first of all, it's your data. Every research idea needs to get your consent. They are all built upon this core. Nothing happens outside of that. Even CureOS, which you are referring to because it has connected wearable device, CureOS is basically Axon DAO XYZ, because we don't have to build 7 different core systems. We have just one that is certified, that we are trying to make as best as possible. And inside of this system, you have growing amount of algorithms. Some of them are from A+ Voice. Some of them will come up from CureOS scientist, myself. And then you have a scientist, you have a kind of list of technologies or algorithms you can use in your own protocol. So for example, if you want to analyze, let's say, as I mentioned before, menopause, for example, how to connect your temperature and your heartbeat with your state. Like, so many questions. In this case, Axon DAO, there is a ring, there are other wearables. You have a platform that we will create for you. If you are a scientist, we will help you to set it up quickly. You don't have to build that from scratch. And in the same time, when your participating research partners, like other people who are wearing some device, women who wants to take part in this research, you collect the data at Axon.xyz, and as a scientist, you can create your own algorithm. And when you're ready, basically, we are helping you to release this algorithm as your product.
So you're creating the platform so that scientists can collect data, and then you're rewarding the people who say, hey, you can use my data, and you're letting me opt in each time. Is that, am I getting it right?
Absolutely. Even if you are, let's say you are using A+ Voice and you are collecting your voice, You are collecting this voice only towards one research project, A plus voice. If I would like to, as a platform creator, if I would like to take your recordings and use them for something else, I cannot.
Okay.
I need to create additional research idea inside of the platform, name it, explain what it is, and then ask you. We recorded for the last 50 days, you were participating in A plus voice. There is this project called something else. Would you be okay with sharing your data to that research? But in the same time, we would like to pay you again some tokens for giving us access to the recorded data from your previous research, which is fine because first of all, we don't waste time to collect the data again. We already collected it and we verified the quality of this data. It was good enough to make some computations. Now we have a new idea with new algorithms. We are training those algorithms. We are analyzing if those algorithms are well created and what is the output of their compute processes. And when it's ready, we can roll out the product. It takes us like, let's say 3 to 4 months. We don't have to do like a 1-year study. And in the same time, projects like A plus voice, they are close to 200 participants. It's not super a lot, but if you will look at the research papers about pulling some information from human voice, you have 20, 30 participants. That's not enough. And this is just the beginning, because I think that when people will see the outcomes of those computations, we already present some of that about A plus voice, you will see that it's really functioning. And you can really take those algorithms and use them in different research. It's maybe since I was studying physics, I was stressed and annoyed that we are losing the previous experiences from previous research. And in this case, we are not losing building a new one, and the even previous fails can help us to build something better in next year, faster, without wasting money or analyzing the same things that someone already did. This is how academia should work. This DeSci is not counterculture to classical academia. It's a parallel system. It's just like a enhanced and modified classical academia.
Sometimes when I'm just researching studies and it seems like people in two different parts of the world were studying the same thing, or someone did a study and it's like they didn't know that another study was going on, I started to think like, geez, this is a bit of a mess, that people aren't talking to each other. It feels like what you're providing is a locus for that to eventually happen.
Just consider that few days ago, we came back from Berlin. We were at the conference DeSci Berlin, and we kind of handshake with the other research team who is analyzing sleep. And they want to make, they started, the key co-founder, one of them is in Stanford. He's currently making his PhD also about sleep. And I'm interested in sleep privately, but the thing is that even when you consider the problem or women issues or hormones, why not to create simple application that is helping to optimize sleep for women during the hormonal changes? You just need to have a recording of your movements and how you were breathing. So it's basically what the ring is doing, or bracelet that we will introduce after summertime. It's basically that data connected with some facts about you. Even from that, you can have personalized sleep hygiene recommendations for every woman 40 plus. I mean, when I'm thinking about it, I feel like my heart is stepping a bit. Like you saw someone who you like, oh my God. But basically every research project has this kind of level of, can make that kind of fingerprint for hundreds of thousands of people.
So the projects, you've talked about the A plus voice project, that's biometric voice data collection. What is the goal of that?
Probably 20 years ago, call centers started utilizing software with simple device that was like recording a voice of people who they were talking to. And this device was able to say that this person is stressed or is lying or is doing something else. Technology went very far, and we can find so many different factors from voice that basically voice is a fingerprint. In case of not physical like appearance, but voice is a wave and it's physically represented, but Voice is like a fingerprint from our fingertips. It's very easy to record voice. It's very easy to store it. It's super easy to send it to server and compute it, and it doesn't even require that much computer power. So it was a kind of low-hanging fruit. But when Axon DAO was regrouping in 2023, one of the ideas was I sent it as an idea to NVIDIA Inception program. And when they saw that, there was not even, it was not my first Inception program before, but when they looked at this project, they didn't even give me like additional questions. It was approved at start. And maybe it was not an initial concept to restart everything, absolutely not, but it was a really good place to start with when we were very early. And with voice, you can basically analyze first responders. You can help people who are working in stressful environments. Even very simple one-day recording in more every time when you feel an anxiety or PTSD kicks in. We are starting cooperation with Spectruth DAO project, led by James Holtz, and he's having clinics, he's building clinics around PTSD. Can you imagine that one of the issues, technical issues in human body is vagus nerve, which is connecting brain and heart. And people with PTSD, he named it that the nerve is clogged, and you have to reset that communication. It's a physical cable. And when the communication between heart and what you think and what your body feels is not collusive, like it's just not clear for you, it makes you so stressed, and then you get PTSD. So even with good screening through the voice, you can very easily react fast, slow down, stop, close your eyes, think it's a green field, just rest, breathe, think about this, that. And also DeSci gives us amazing opportunity to make a convergence between projects, to interact. There is a project who is working with ultrasound portable devices. And probably, which I hope it will be studied this year, you can utilize like a home device to stimulate your vagus nerve only to declog it. And probably it will work. We just have to have 50 or 100 participants. DeSci also is taking the research through some kind of fast track. It's not a shortcut. It's a fast track. Because also, when you look at those projects that we are interconnecting with, those people are crazy passionate. It's this energy, like people from Microbiome DAO. Amazing ideas.
And this is private. It's all private. So you're not on the government funding track, which it just takes the whole viscous layer off, I would think. Does it?
That's the one thing, but still we are aligned with the same laws as the organizations that do this as NGOs or research or corporations, as long as depends on how your research protocol is structured, if you need to utilize specific medicaments or not, or just you are analyzing what kind of medical class issue you are resolving with those devices, then you're fine. And we know that very perfectly. I was building medical devices a couple of years ago. I was working majority of my life in healthcare industry in general. So the regulations and the total quality management approach is absolutely normal for me. I feel uncomfortable when I would be doing something a little bit not precisely defined. So in this case, data is private, data is encrypted. There's always a space for improvements. And I think that this year we will go through complete certification of ISO 27001.
Okay.
For many reasons, it's a good thing to have. So you can be sure that DeSci is always on a standpoint where it acts like a medical institutions.
It's just that you don't have to apply for funding from the government and have that whole process where you're waiting, and maybe some projects get funded because maybe they're more commercially viable, or all those sort of things that happen.
Yeah, it's also about time. You have science clubs when you are at the university. And when you enter a science club, physics, biochemistry, robotics, you will meet a small group of people. but they will be for sure crazy about what they are doing. Guys, you are nerds. And in most cases, when you look at the DeSci PhDs, you see the people who went from academia, from lab, they are working in laboratory. They know this thing precisely. I've seen in DeSci London a man who was building a portable bioreactor managed by computer, and it's like medical level device. However, he will utilize it. This guy is probably making something that was in current marketplace arena. It was built for the last 30 years. If you want to buy something like this, you have to pay $100,000, and you will get it in next 3 months from Italy. And this guy is making something like that, working with a robot that is feeding those reactors with some precisely managed amounts of specific substrates. And it's the same quality, it's the same precision, and it costs $3,000. So I'm not talking even about being greedy. It's all about how we can improve and expand our understanding. And we are aiming not only about longevity, we are aiming towards healthgevity. Because first of all, you have to bring your health to the optimal situation. Then you can count how much it will make your longevity works for you. But now here, you need to fix some things. And this is the main thing that we have to focus on. Usually, when you go to a doctor, they give you 15 minutes. They will mostly write something. I understand it's really hard work. In my family, we have doctors. Same with Christopher's founder. And there must be a way how we can improve it. In every direction of healthcare issues that we have, there's a lot of space to improve things.
You're doing research on PTSD. How about Alzheimer's? We're all terrified of getting Alzheimer's because there is cognitive decline and cognitive variability that happens when you're going through the menopause and perimenopause transition. A lot of people tie it to estrogen, but we're all terrified. We're getting dementia when we can't remember the word for things. And so how is that research going? What are you looking at?
We cannot do everything in the same time, but in terms of A+ voice, what we are doing is also we are screening from the voice what is the risk of Parkinson and Alzheimer. Because like you said, it's a neurological issue also, and you can hear it in human voice. How we are speaking, you don't see that. The computer will see it perfectly. So this is the thing that is already created in a lab environment. I can imagine that it would not be super complicated to create a specific software solution for women that we can try, that we can roll out soon, fast, and introduce maybe your audience to try without paying anything. It doesn't require anything but just setting up the account. If there are women or scientists who are working with that kind of issues in women's world, I would highly invite you to cooperate. At least contact us. We have Twitter. On this Twitter, there's always someone who will pick up an answer. We are more than interested in having communication with people who are doing citizen science and also regular science. In most cases, citizen science gives faster outcomes and it's easier to make. And it's easy, like those ideas are usually very enthusiastically hijacked by the community, which I love the most. This is more than inspiring when you see people, community around specific issues, like throwing everything to take part, deliver quality data, and at the end see the results, not expecting anything for that. In this case, in DeSci, what we are provoking, and I think everybody in DeSci industry is thinking the same way, we want to reward those who are participating and sharing some data to train the algorithms. We are rewarding them with our crypto token. Maybe for some of the people, it might look complicated. During the summertime, I think we will simplify several things, but also we will probably utilize tools that you can use to exchange the tokens into USD, I'm sorry, and send that USD to your payment card.
Oh, okay. Because that's part is complicated. If people don't know, you have to send it into probably now into Ethereum and then into another. Yeah. I actually don't know. I don't know. I don't know how you do it. I own it.
I think that it was confusing. So usually when people are trying to explain that it's sophisticated, when you listen to that and when you practice, it's easier. But we don't have to make anyone understand everything.
Yes.
What we are aiming to is just having off-ramp to your business payment card.
I always say this to people, you don't need to understand it all, because people feel like when they're getting into crypto and blockchain, I feel like they don't want to start because they feel like they want to learn everything and it's impossible. Like you have to just, how do you get in from your perspective? What's your advice to someone who's 50 who's, I want to learn about this?
The most low-hanging fruit nowadays would be go to A+Voice.io. It's a research program that you just have to have a phone and your voice and some time, not much. Register yourself using email and then participate in this research. Everything is on page, everything is written down. You don't have to have a crypto. You will collect some crypto when you will be participating. Probably in next will be way easier to pull this out if you want to. But if you will participate in this research, it means that basically also we will help us to make the, for example, Parkinson or Alzheimer algorithms more exact, more precise. And that would be the start. With the things that we have and the whole toolkit, Axon DAO XYZ, with this, we basically can support any healthcare-oriented research. On a daily basis, when I'm answering for some questions during the day while I'm doing other things, I gotta tell you, my ears are usually hot because of the kind of, not even emotions. There is so many things we can do now, not in next 3 months. Now, we like to sleep with the people who are making a sleep platform. They said, if you have it, maybe we should not build our platform, but just to utilize Axon DAO XYZ, build our landing pages, our organization as a sovereign, separated business entity. But let's not build a wheel again. Like we don't have to. It's already there, and this is how we should participate. So we are calling to all citizens, everyone who is looking to try something, A+Voice.io, try this one. Soon, I hope in next few weeks, I don't know, we will start Cannabit, which is a medical cannabis research, really interesting thing. And it's very scientifically oriented for kind of broad population. And at the same time, there is a project called Psilocybe, which is about microdosing with psilocybins. But we will start it probably during summertime or September because it's a strictly academic research project. It is regulated, it's managed by and currently prepared for only US market. So in some cases, we have to be very strict in terms of the guiding lines and regulatory things, absolutely.
The women's health space, women have been understudied. I don't think it was until the 90s that we were even required to be included in clinical studies. And in menopause and perimenopause, there's 1/10 of the studies in menopause that there are in pregnancy. There's so many things that need to be studied, including just like a trial comparing healthy people on hormone therapy and healthy people not on hormone therapy, but so many things because it affects heart, bones, brain, all of it. Can you see that you would ever get involved in anything like this? Like, how do you pick your projects? And can I like put a bug in your ear?
You already did. I think today I will also send you a list of 10 ideas I would be super interested in initiating. Just consider that with things that we have already created for voice, for wearables, basically data like steps, heart rate, that's even good enough. Gender, weight, height, things like that, and age, sorry. We have estrogen fluctuation voice detector. It analyzes fundamental frequency variations correlating with estrogen levels. I don't need to know your estrogen level. I can take it out from the microphone. It's like not a medical data, but when you will start making correlation or showing the data from the medical test and the voice, it's like CGMs for continuous glucose meter. They work same way. It's not sophisticated. progesterone impact voice analyzer, hormonal therapy response tracker. So we are monitoring voice changes in response to hormone replacement therapy, tracks therapy effectiveness, vocal biomarkers. I cannot modify your voice. Your voice is your passport. This is from the Sneakers movie, by the way. I'm old. One of my favorite hacker movies from 80s, 88.
Okay. We're cool again.
But even Hotflash voice predictor, analyze voice patterns predicting Hotflash, provides 15 to 30-minute advanced warning, including stress voice indicators. It's not sophisticated from my perspective. The only thing that is absolutely necessary is not only a group of women who would like to participate, but also I would highly love to see women scientists. And if there are, again, women who are listening to us today, we have at least 10 different ideas. I will send them to Annemarie. And dear ladies, dear scientists, if you would like to pick it up, I will help. We have algorithms, we have platforms. You don't have to pay for anything. If you do something interesting in field of analyzing health data around women's health, I will help you to build your organization. We are absolutely open in supporting such organizations, but also do all possible to help you release projects that can be utilized by women in next few weeks. Because, for example, even one of the ideas is work-wise, just the name, but professional performance during menopause. Let's do corporate wellness platform helping professional women maintain peak performance during hormonal transition. It's not sophisticated, again, from the perspective of the system, Axon DAO XYZ, how it was built, but we should not wait with utilizing concepts like that. It costs close to nothing.
It's crazy. It's crazy because we're so limited right now, and all anyone says is we don't have the data. And I saw the International Menopause Society did a white paper on hormone therapy, and they said it's going to be years until we have the data. We're just going to have to rely on the observational data that we have now. And I thought, then it was before I found out about DeSci, and now I just feel like this is the answer. This is the answer. This skips the whole chasm of we don't have the time or the money to bridge those years that it wasn't done. It seems to me to be a no-brainer.
It's amazing. Not even opportunity. It is on the table, and it will be since now. Nothing. Richard Branson, he said that business is not just one-time opportunity. It's rather something like a metro train. It comes out, and then its next one comes in. Whether it's true, I don't know, but I've seen this in my life several times. I don't believe that it's a one-time opportunity. We have this opportunity week by week. One of the last ideas that I'd like to propose is the health aging platform for postmenopausal women. We have those people, we have those women. They already can participate. I can imagine that I can convince my mom to do that. She's having some kind of third age university, they call it like this, and she's with art, and she has like probably 20 or 30 friends, lady friends, who would like to do the same thing, record voice and then see, hey girl, these are the optimization recommendations for your longevity. Or also in the same time we can make a social connection and purpose tracking so they can dual battle themselves. Not so sophisticated things, rather easy solutions, and most of those algorithms are already created. So I don't see the reason why not to have some scientist people who would like to just pick them and utilize them on Axon DAO XYZ and build a product. It could be a suite of different products, one application for women and 10 different protocols that you can utilize, whether you want or not. You collect your data, it's always here. If you would like to go to a dentist or other doctor, you would be able to show him, share that person a full set of your recordings about everything. But in the same time, you will see that there's something interesting in terms of, I don't know, yoga research in health. And system will tell you that the data you already collected match with this project. Maybe you could give a consent. They will pay you at start this amount of tokens, for you to share with them last 2 years of your steps and heart rate.
Yeah.
And you can say, okay, let's try it. The initial idea was that one of my family members is diabetes, and there was an issue which platform to care for, observe, monitor diabetes is the best one. And we play with one, then another. And each time again, we knew that we have to add the data again by hand. I'm sharing some data with product A, B, or C. And then first of all, I cannot pull the data back to my health vault. And in the same time, I cannot send it to another project to see if this one is maybe better. So the idea behind Axon DAO XYZ as a core system of Axon DAO is that there might be different products on the firmament of health lifestyle industry. You can try each one of them, but the ones that you will not appreciate, you don't have to fight or stress about your data. You just disconnect them from your data. You are revoking the consent you gave them,
right,
and you can utilize different platform. I have probably 40 something different wearables, starting from Fitbit, whole generation of Philips and Samsung wearables. They are nice tools. They work. But apparently at the end, to collect this in one place, it's an issue itself. It's a huge issue. So when we will probably spend some time during the summertime, I would say that in late of this year, we will also connect with this whole platform that we have, the other rings like Ultra Human, Ura Ring. There are commercial APIs, and there is no reason why not to do it. So from our perspective, of course, we would like to promote products that we would like to introduce to the market, but in the same time, in the long run, it's not about the devices, it's about algorithms. So a scientist who is the most open-minded, brilliant, smart, efficient, if he can create his own algorithms, his own protocol that can give you some kind of suggestion, advice, and this advice is like really high quality, you will tell to your friends, hey guys, use the product C, the other ones are, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Even if mine would be not good enough instead of different one, it means progress. And then the whole population is starting using better tools, collecting the data, not losing the data. And also, if you have a children or you have your ancestors, one of the projects with Poseidon DAO we would like to do is about how your ancestor health issues are throwing kind of shadow on your current situation, how it's interconnected. In health educational process, we are learned that it is. And now we can just extend our data and the interface will show something I'm calling health history graph, which is, it doesn't have to be super sophisticated, but it can show you your health history.
Your real health history, not just yours, but all the way. It's very Web3. It's very much like how people are taking it. Am I grasping it? I know in a gaming sense, you can buy something and take it to another game. This feels a little bit like that, what you're talking about.
Just consider that, just anecdote. The best Web3 games are Web2 games extended with crypto. That's it, nothing else.
Okay.
So if you have a great game that has gamification that makes you thrilled and you want to play this again and again, and the only one change that someone did is just introduce a token that you can gain or lose or bet against other combatant and then win or lose. This makes this hyped. This is Web3, real Web3.
Yeah.
But in this world, I would not say it's maybe Web3. I would say we are living in a post-marketing era. It's a kind of odd statement, but on the other hand, what is the main factor that makes projects, brands being hijacked is a culture inside of the community. If you have community and you are able to explain and induce culture, you will make the fair monetization within around your product. And that's fine, that's amazing. I want to pay for things that I really enjoy. I want to pay for things that makes me better. My health, my, I don't know, well-being, or my spendings, reduce my spendings. I want to pay for that. And no one would be, even sometimes when you look at someone who is, people are using different ways to support your creators. But when you create a content that makes people hyped, they are like feeling that you are their sister, brother, friend, they want to support you because you are resonating with them. If the product is able to resonate with your stance and physically makes some good changes, you want some more. When you think about the product for or software for research for women, it could be a suite of different applications that you can add more scientists, more ideas, more research proposals. Again, another one. And system can easily match. Are you a good fit to certain research or not? It's not sophisticated. Yeah, we had some discussions with Ministry of Health some time ago about how to make a health system working better. I said, oh my God, there is no, you can, good luck. In this world, it's like we are creating that is maybe not even better thought, but it's more efficient. And when it's going to be productive to users, they will be convinced to use it. And they will maybe not move on from the other systems, but the other systems will start to utilize the same approach. So those parallel worlds, they will connect with each other. There is no other way.
It's amazing. It's so exciting because it's like you talked about the nerds in the science club, the smartest people getting so excited about ideas, community, money, and all the regulatory stuff that is required of normal research. It to me is just so exciting, and I think it's going to get us out of this dearth of research that we have in this.
This is a stethoscope, digital one, created by my colleague, friend, 7-10 years ago. Basically, you have application, you buy some credits, you buy this device, your child, your mom, your husband, your wife, you just make the heartbeat recording. There is like a very high quality microphone. It goes to a medical center in Europe. The product is medical grade product. It's certified with the MDR. So it's like RX drugs, like level 2C probably even. And you get an answer. How your lungs, how your heart, what is happening? Should you go to a doctor? Maybe this is some pulmonary issues, or one device. I don't need to go to a doctor. Maybe it's not super cheap. It costs like $200. I don't know. I don't remember. The guy started with ribbon of cables and some kind of crazy device, and now it looks like a beautiful thing. It's certified. It's just a medical device that you can utilize, but still, every product that is a device like that has its own separated platform, which was for me counter logical. And even if they has to be separated, still there is no way I can collect all the data from all the systems that I'm using into one data set. Why?
I am so excited to talk to you. I think your ideas are amazing, considering you probably haven't thought about menopause very much in your life. So I'm excited to talk to you more. Please send them to me. I'm all in. I'll help you any way I can. And I'm going to talk about this, even though my platform doesn't really want to talk about it because it seems too confusing. But I think the more we just spend a little bit of time, the better it'll be.
Don't think about DeSci. Just think about projects like a SaaS platforms that the women can use to check on some things with them, or at the beginning help other researchers to make credible products that can assess another thousands and thousands of women. The scarcity of incoming issue, you are afraid of something that is not visible, it's not worth it. You feel like you're stuck in between something. It's a problem of being lonely with that fear. Even if you have a great partner, you still are like, maybe there was something here, like, oh my God, I think I'm having something. No, it's not symmetrical. Oh my God, this is wrong. We have to stop that. There is a lot of people who can help. There is a lot of ideas that are very easy to develop and deliver to your phone. You don't have to know, you don't have to be even understanding what crypto is. I don't believe that it's even necessary. If you have an email, you would be able to use it. That's what I would start with.
That's amazing. I can't thank you enough for explaining it. And you also just explained perimenopause. That's exactly what it feels like. I think something's wrong with me. What's happening? You really get it.
We have the same things. We all are having different problems, but they get into the same gaps or traps of mental schematics, or how they call it, scripts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how we react is also, when you look at those reactions, they are similar in some groups. So we have patterns. When you have patterns, you can find a way how to push someone from that state. Like you get into this mood of working with this stress synchronicity, and then there must be a way how can you just achieve some stability in that. So this is also another great idea to be researched by, I hope, women scientists. Oh, by the way, it's not I'm flirting with community of Annemarie, but Axon DAO leading developer is a lady, and she's one of the best developers I was working in last 10 years. I highly would like to see more women working for healthcare industry, especially in terms of the algorithms and maybe AI agents. However we can help, here we are. Please don't hesitate.
That's really exciting. Thank you for taking the time to tell me all about it. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hotflash Inc. was created and is hosted by Annemarie McQueen, produced and edited by Sonia Mack. The information contained in this podcast is intended for informational purposes only and is not intended for the purpose of diagnosing, treating, curing, or preventing any disease. Before using any products referenced on the podcast, consult with your healthcare provider, read all labels, and heed all directions and cautions that accompany the products. Information received through the podcast should not be used in place of a consultation or advice from a healthcare provider. If you suspect you have a medical problem, i.e. menopause or anything else, or any healthcare questions, please promptly see your healthcare provider. This podcast, including Annemarie McQueen and any producers or editors, disclaim any responsibility from any possible adverse effects from the use of any information contained herein. Opinions of guests on this podcast are their own, and the podcast does not endorse or accept responsibility for statements made by guests. This podcast does not make any representations or warranties about a guest's qualifications or credibility. This podcast may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products or services. Individuals on this podcast may have direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to herein. This podcast is owned by Hotflash Inc. Media.